hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, wait a minute. Let me check something. Can you tell them? Wait, hang on. That's working.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, you can hear now. Okay. You know what? That's exactly what they do a lot of times. Is they found a way to shut off the mic, but all I gotta do is just unplug and plug it back in, and it works. So, you know, I'll definitely be giving you guys wrenches on this channel as, you know, the message from higher powers is, you know, this is what we have to focus on more and more. And, you know, I think it is a good idea to keep them separated in some ways until we get to a certain point and focus on the news over there, and focus really on the spiritual here. Stephanie, you still can't hear us? So Judy could hear us. Nicole could hear us. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I hope you could hear us now, Steph.
Yeah, Steph, I hope you can hear us. I mean, it's all really nice to come over here. We don't have to worry so much about who we might be offending or, you know, belief systems, because here we're all a little more open to different belief systems, which is critical right now. It's super important that you can have a belief system that works for you, that no one's going to attack, and people are going to honor it.
Yeah. Okay, Queen Star says no sound now. So, yeah, they might be trying to stop this one, because this one they would try to stop more than the other stuff. They don't mind us talking about things that scare people, but they don't want us giving out, well, you know, communicating to you guys directly what we're receiving from benevolent powers. And I've talked about this in the past a little bit, you know, touched on things a little bit. And we're going to tell you guys a little bit more straightforward what we're getting and who we're in contact with, because we've been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of going within on a daily basis. It's been part of our practices, you know, for a long time, and now together for just about a year. And, you know, we were brought together for a reason.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. That information came through too, except for Michael's gonna have to like be the note taker and stuff. I don't remember a lot of stuff when it comes through me.
So Cindy and I, both of us have all our lives been visited or been able to see other beings, you know, on other densities, other dimensions. You could look at that as like, you know, my first memories of this are at 5 years old. It's just something that's always been there for me. Same thing with Cindy. And Cindy's super gifted as a channel. And this is why she has been also really harassed and plagued. And she's had night terrors, and she's had sleep paralysis and all sorts of things that have hit her. And it's really been in order to keep her from doing what she can do, which is she's an amazing channel. And today, you know, she had a breakthrough when we were just doing our mantras and our meditation, and she's been going deeper and deeper on her own. And yeah, you know, that's, as Judy K says, starseed. Well, we are starseeds, you know, that's part of this. And you know, I know my whole reason for being here is to help people, and that's why I'm here. And this is my whole purpose. I've always known that since I was a kid. And so this is part of it. And so today Cindy went like deeper than ever, and I had direct communications through Cindy with what I would call my guides, the ones that have been guiding me. And the ones that have helped me help so many people in, you know, through healing, through energy work. Because there was a time when I was doing energy work, first starting to really go into it. And then all of a sudden it was like I felt hands on my shoulder, and the normal amount of energy I was able to move got changed like 10 to 100-fold. It was just boom, so much power that came through. And the power just keeps growing as more and more guides keep joining us. And so these beings are from many different places and different densities as well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I had a lot come through today, more than ever. And it is different. It's a different place where I went today and got information about how critical it truly is to raise our vibration right now for a certain outcome.
Yeah, so yesterday when we were out at the house, well, it's not a house, it's nothing right now. It's just it's just desert, but we're working on it. And the clouds were overhead. We both could sense that there were beings up there. And thank you so much, Dominic. And good to see me share too. Mercy Anonymous. It's great that you guys are all here. So we could sense that there were beings up there. And it was really wild because I just closed my eyes and just focused on my crown chakra and breathed it in. And it was like something punched me in the belly. And it almost like I almost fell down, honestly. And Cindy felt the exact same thing at the exact same time. She said, "Oh my God, I feel nauseous." Well, and I said, "Yeah, it's like somebody punched you in your solar plexus and you're gonna puke," is what it was like. And so we got an answer to that. I don't know if you remember it. See, Cindy went somewhere different today. She like totally stepped out and let something come through it to a much higher degree. It wasn't her mentally getting it. It wasn't her deciphering like she usually does. They were speaking directly through her today. So it went to a totally different place today. I was talking directly to my guides and our guides, because we do have a lot of the same guides, and they've brought us together. And when we first met in person, and we laid down after being up for like 28 hours, we felt the exact same thing. Like they were actually sewing us energetically together. And so I just knew that it was, our relationship is because of work. And yet, we have the pleasure of loving each other and being able to share everything together because we get along so well. But really, it's all about work. It's like we're here to do a job. It's just kind of like it's our pay that we get to enjoy each other. Mm-hmm. Glad to see all you guys. So what they confirmed for us was that there was a variety of different entities up there yesterday. There is, as we've been alluding to, there's a war going on here. This is a galactic war. It's on so many different levels. It's right now we are wavering between 3D and 4D, and depending on the person and where you're at, you're actually kind of in either third density still or fourth density, kind of going back and forth. And that's why at times, good to see you, Karen H. and Morticia, and Morningstar, and Rosanna. That's why at times we could see things now. We get glimpses of things. It's because we are really going up, and Mother Earth is going up. And it's imperative for us to anchor the light into the planet to help Mother Earth transcend, because as she goes up, if we could help her, everything, it wouldn't have to be all the death and destruction. And that's what the powers that be know. So they want to create the chaos to make it all death and destruction. Outlaw Bob Barker in the house.
Yeah, they do. And I don't know, today was different because I did step out and something else took over, which was really interesting. I've had these experiences where I can channel, but usually it is deciphered through my own brain and my own ego. But this one was different in the sense where it was just all sensation, where like if I said something that was spot on, they would shove energy through me. I can't really explain it, but it was like, I don't know. It was great. But yeah, I mean, the message is good. I mean, it felt really good, and it was nice to be able to say. So I was sitting in like an egg. It was weird.
Yeah, her consciousness kind of shifted to a whole different place, and I could even tell I was talking to somebody different, especially at the end where she said that you better try to wake her up now and bring her back. That was really very cool and interesting to experience, but it was neat to be able to talk to directly this being, which I have seen before in my meditations. I got flashes of this being's face. I could see the eyes and the hair, and I think we would probably want to describe the female as being Pleiadian. She has almost platinum hair and almond eyes that go up, almond-shaped eyes that go up at an angle, very, very pale skin. And I think, I want to say I remember first seeing that one maybe like around 4 years ago. In 2009, in December 2009, I started to write automatically. Things were just coming out of me so fast, and I was just writing down all the stuff that was flying through, and it was mostly about relationships and love and who we really are and how things are supposed to be. And the stuff I was channeling felt wonderful to me, and it changed me. But, the relationship that I was in at that time, the person didn't like it at all. So it ended up getting snuffed. And we verified today that was coming through from them. Going to Mount Shasta was important as well, because we got in contact with some of the beings that are in the inner earth. And they are on higher densities, so that, they're not 3 and 4D. They can come down to 3 and 4D. They can lower their vibrations to come down to, get through that way. But normally they're on higher densities.
Yeah, it is. It is really different when you step into that energy and start channeling that energy, because you get like physical, and I guess that's why they kind of like me, is my I feel I'm incredibly sensitive. So when I step in someone's energy field, I feel what they're feeling, and I feel it like super strong. I don't know. Today I'm a little bit still kind of coming back here.
Yeah, she's still a little bit foggy. So what we got was that, I don't know if you remember, what made us feel dizzy was you have your benevolent ones, like the Galactic Federation of Light. They are up there, and they are working, behind the scenes to try to mitigate everything that's going on, try to reduce the damage, try to make the transition as smooth as possible. And then we have, the Cabal with the Draco that are doing all their nastiness. But don't think that all reptilian type beings are negative, because, there are some that are wise and benevolent, like the Nagas, some of the Nagas. If you look into Hindu mythology, you'll see them. And so they're not all nasty, but the Draco, are out for their own thing. So it wasn't, though, the Draco that knocked us energetically for a loop yesterday. And it wasn't the Galactic Federation. It was a different group. And that was interesting to find out. Do you remember any of that?
I remember little pieces and parts.
Yeah, you said that there are other entities which are basically made up of people, beings. These are all beings, not necessarily Homo sapiens sapiens, but beings that perhaps have done, some less than good things, not necessarily totally malevolent, but they're opportunistic. Just like we're seeing people looting now, these are beings like that. And so in some ways we have cosmic looters here as well, taking advantage of the war that's going on. And that was these beings that I guess they sensed us reaching out and sensing them. And so they kind of threw a little body punch at us And yesterday with the clouds, it was crazy, because I could sense the ships up there, and Cindy could too.
Yeah.
So there's the darker forces, that are really Draco controlled, and of course the Draco utilized some of the Greys as well, and they have their human minions that do their dirty work, and they're the ones that are the controllers behind the scenes on this earthly realm. And then we have what we would call the Galactic Federation of Light, who work with what we would call the Devas, or the angelic realm as well, and they're trying to help us from 5D 6D and above. But again, they don't want to impinge on human free will, and that's the thing. So the benevolent ones, they respect free will, and they respect the human experience. And of course, the malevolent ones don't respect anything but their own wishes and desires.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I've never quite experienced that today, what I experienced before. You're doing really good, sweetie. I'm going to let you keep talking. I'm just I feel like I'm connected, but I'm disconnected,
You're still not back here, So, yeah, the message that they want us to get across is that, again, we have to invite the benevolent beings into our hearts and into helping us, and it's an invitation. So you have to ask, as the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. If you don't ask, then all that you're going to have is the negative ones doing their thing. Today, during the meditation, while she was channeling and stuff, I could feel such activity in my DNA, and I'm feeling tremendous changes. Those of us, you guys, I know, I think it was Outlaw was saying that he was feeling dizzy. I mean, you're going to feel a lot of, weird sensations, energetic sensations, tingling, vibrating, buzzing. At times you're going to feel out of body. They are upgrading our DNA. There are so many starseeds that are here on the planet right now that are waking up to the fact that they are starseeds. And, coming to that realization, because, there are tons of us that are here for this job and to help pull in and anchor the light. And it's a difficult web to weave. What I've been trying to do with the channels, has been very, very difficult, because I want to stay positive. I'd like to go totally positive, but then at the same time, are the dark ones really doing nasty things to us? Yeah, they are. They obviously are. They've been, and Morticia, keep listening to that 741. It helps tremendously. It's very, very healing, and it's going to purge a lot of the dark seeds. Danielle says, what do you mean by star seeds? Aren't we all made of cosmic DNA? We are, most definitely. Some beings have willfully come down and come down from like 5th density even to come and operate right now in 3 and 4D to help raise the vibrations of others here. So some have decided that they're going to come down, put themselves at risk and help others. And that's what we mean when we're referring to star seeds. Star seeds in the sense that, they chose to come and chose to help others. Many people are here just because this is exactly where they are at this time and place, through karma, as well as the matrix that's kept so many people locked in the lower vibrations.
That they definitely want to keep us locked in lower vibrations, because I think that therein is their food. So I think we've all been taught that, you're awkward or you're weird, with society. They have these churches and the Bible, and this is the way you have to do things. And that's all just to really kind of scare us off into one certain path, because we're so much easier controlled if we go by their rule book, and if we start listening to our own DNA and understanding what we can do, well, that's not good for them, because we're going to realize how well we can heal other people, how well we can heal ourselves. Today, though, I really feel like that it's really important to go within and do what's right, raise the vibration. They're still yammering that through me, even like when I'm awake right now, they're like, tell you got to tell them. So, yeah.
So, what's imperative as far as what's the main thing that they've been saying to get across?
Raise your vibration when you're at home or when you're at work. Go within, do what you need to do to help yourself feel better. When you give yourself good food, you give yourself good rest, you're good to yourself, you extend that out to other people. And as a collective, we are going to help mitigate whatever is coming. Because I feel like whatever is coming is an energetic thing, and it's being steered through energy, our energy.
Most definitely. And, the number one thing that is occurring, the most important thing that's occurring, is really the ascension process and the waking up of the planet. Everything else is just a reaction to that. And, all the cataclysms that we see, the COVID-19, all this stuff, this is all just the dark forces, trying to mitigate that. As we're heading out of the dark age and back into an age of enlightenment. So we're heading into a section, a place where the energy is intense, and it's triggering, everything that's going on is triggering changes in our DNA, and that which has been cut off or disabled by these darker forces is reattaching, rewinding, coming back together. And that's part of what, a lot of people are experiencing right now. Take time to just still your mind. Do mantras like today. There's many different mantras we do. We probably do a dozen different ones depending. But today, I cycled through 2 different ones, probably like 800 times, 900 times, just constantly. And when you get to a certain zone where your brain shuts off, the mantras will tune you into a frequency that will enable you to receive the downloads. So it's just like calling somebody. It's like picking up a phone and calling somebody. And you just keep ringing and ringing and ringing until they pick up. And then you're able to trigger these downloads, and the energy will come in strong. And I could feel it. And the DNA is not just in the body. It's not just physical. There's DNA that also exists in the etheric body and it extends out through the rest of our bodies. So it's a little bit different than most people have conceived of. DNA operates all throughout the energy bodies as well.
Yeah, and when we get the sun, the light, it does something to our DNA, and it'll give us the information we need, and then we act on that information. But that is all based on what kind of food are we eating also? What are we putting in our body? We have choices to make that are critical for our betterment, like little things like be nice, it's so simple, even though it's so hard sometimes. Other things like, I think what I got was our energy that we can channel together is pretty powerful, it's pretty strong. So that's a really good thing. But in order to do that, we have to be, in alignment and do the meditation, do the mantras, do the standing, and that helps raise the vibration. And as long as you're eating well and you're getting your sleep and you're just in general in a good mood, and when you're not sure what to do the next right thing. Or my grandma always said, go do the dishes.
Yeah, we got so much sun yesterday because we were out, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours, working out there in the sun, and it was wonderful. And it's super healing. They've tried to get us to cover our skin and stuff so we won't receive the downloads, because the sun is the transmitter, sun is the relay from the galactic central sun, which is really coming straight from source, the truth source. And it's all part of source's plan for us to come back into wholeness again. And of course, these darker forces, and these darker forces can be overcome because they're not of the highest densities. There are beings that are way more powerful than them. However, those beings respect free will, so they're not going to interfere with our human experience. We have to really do the work and try to pull ourselves up, and then they will help us as well. They'll help us anchor that light.
Well, also, I think when you're channeling, you got to channel through the ego too, and that's difficult. So I think that's why today I was able to step out, because I mean, I don't think like super highly of myself. I have a lot of problems there, and that's all ego too. And I think they were able to like shove all that aside and let me translate what I needed to translate. And the light is an interesting thing. Like I love to study astrology. And that's actually the study of light and how it affects the human body. Well, thank you. I feel like my throat chakra is getting a little bit attacked. Thanks, Mom. You're awesome, too. You're really awesome, too.
So, as Deep State was saying, he doesn't get sunburn anymore. I noticed the same thing. I don't get sunburn anymore either. It doesn't really matter. And the other day I looked and I was all, pinkish and from all the new sun, but then it just kind of got absorbed into the body, and it's like, it's the fear. So they programmed us with the fear. Like we've been taught to put their sunscreens on us because of fear of the sun, and in reality it's the sunscreens that cause the problems in the first place. So and it's all about just delaying this ascension process. And that's what they've done at every turn. So we recognize them, we recognize it for what it is, and we're going to move forward. And so connect every day. Every day connect. Try to connect at morning and at night, and that'll help a lot. It really will. There's, really simple meditations. Like if you guys, let's just do this for a moment together. Just put your feet flat on the ground and have your spine straight. Whether you're sitting in a chair, that would be great. And just simply take a few abdominal breaths with your diaphragm going downwards. Nice, slow, deep. And this exhale. Slow, deep inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Now just imagine that you have roots that come out of your feet, sink into the earth. Feel the magnetic pull of the earth. You'll feel it. It's getting so easy now. See the roots go all the way through all the different layers of the earth and connect into the heart of the earth, which you can envision as a pure ball of crystalline white plasma light. And then with the inhale, draw that energy up and into the body. Feel it coming from the roots, pulling into the body, coming through the feet. Feel it going up the legs. Feel it encasing the entire body, the entire torso, the arms, the head, in this pure crystalline light. And then the crystalline light contains all colors in it, so your body will naturally just take what it needs. You can also envision it being that's a physical energy from the earth as a vibrant green, like a crystalline green, and that'll heal the physical body. It's all about frequency and wavelength. Each color is its own frequency, its own wavelength. Now in the next inhale, imagine coming from source, from the galactic central sun, down into the crown chakra, crystalline light. Now you could also envision this, if you prefer, as a violet tinge, a violet flame. The violet flame, it purges anything that's lower vibrational. And so you can inhale that. Get used to feeling that you're inhaling through your chakras, and you'll feel it strongly. And that's where the breath is so important. Pranayama, QiGong, there's all different techniques, but through the inhaling, when we consciously inhale and know we are pulling in the life force. So this would be cosmic chi, cosmic prana, cosmic life force. Inhale, draw into the crown chakra, and then feel that as you exhale, flow down into the earth. And you could alternate breaths where you're inhaling up through the earth, exhale through the crown chakra, inhale through the crown chakra, and exhale into the earth. And in this way, you're going to clean all the layers of your energy body as well as strengthen the physical body. And it'll ground and root you as well.
You know, I do remember one thing when they were talking to me to help pull people into alignment. I use tuning forks to do that. And is it okay if we do the intent? Oh,
Sure.
hold on. Okay.
So Cindy's getting her tuning fork. So we'll send a tuning out to everybody that's here right now.
So what I want you guys to do is think of your most healthy self. Think of your happiest self. Think of a time when you're just the most healthiest and happiest. I want you to hold that in your mind's eye, and we're going to program your energy field to do things that is going to bring that forward. So just tune into this tone and think about your happiest self. Okay, and ready? Now I want you guys to take a deep breath. Hold it for a couple seconds, and when you breathe out, blow all the bad energy out your feet. And then drink lots of water today, because I just gave you a lot of information with that tuning, and that'll help the information go through the body and do what it needs to do. So you will actually feel yourself urge to do better things for yourself. It's interesting how it works. It's like a shaman kind of thing, except for I use a tuning fork, not a drum.
So beautiful energy, and Stephanie's grabbing hers to add to. Awesome. And Outlaw Bob Barker says it makes my hair stand on end. That's a good thing. Yeah, we're getting our energy. And Rosanna says Cindy's like our own little Tinkerbell. Aww. She's so sweet. She is. I mean, she's just the sweetest really person. That's why I loved her when we were friends. Just loved her right off the bat because I knew this is a wonderful person. Deep state seeing colors. That's awesome.
Yeah. Actually, my daughter sees the color blue come off of these things. It's pretty cool.
And blue's like an angelic color too when you see that. Thank you, Morticia. You've been wonderful. You guys all have him 37.
Miss Morticia, I don't know if you texted me or maybe I need to call you. I got your email. Almost done with that thing that you requested. So, guys, do this regularly, and we're going to do more. Oh, Angela, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. Your inspiration and guidance leads us to a brighter light. Thank you both so much. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Angela. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody that's here. You guys are just so heart-centered, and you are shining lights for this world in this time that has been enveloped in darkness, but the light is shining stronger and stronger every day. And we are growing stronger every single day as well. And we will keep growing stronger. The message is that we do have galactic help here. And if you even look at the prophecies of the Hopi, if you look at Mother Shipton's, what happens? Well, the benevolent ones come here. And they do help us. But you know what? We got to get up to their level, or at least close enough to them. So what we have to do is we have to raise ourselves up so we're going past this 3D and solidly get ourselves into fourth density. And then also at times when we're in fourth density, we'll be starting to hit that fifth density. And that's when we can interact with them so much stronger and so much easier. So part of the problem is that these darker energies, like the Draco and the Illuminati that have been controlling this scene, if they could keep us down in a lower vibration, they keep us away from the ones that are our real teachers. And so if we could purge ourselves, then we could start to lift upwards. The planet's lifting up. And then we'll be able to contact them so much easier and draw down the light so much stronger.
Definitely. And I think when we channel the higher ones, I like to be careful about that, because they look at everything through the light that there really is no death. So it's I don't know, you guys, I'm just learning. We're just getting information. It's a beautiful thing. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the tuning fork. But do think of your best self for the rest of today. and it will pull you back into alignment. It's slow but sure. It takes quite a while, but I think we're learning in this life that anything that's worthwhile isn't going to be instant.
No, it takes time and patience, but it's well worth it. And I meditated like 3 times a day for about close to 4 months before I felt anything. And it just took, patience and perseverance. And then all of a sudden it happened. And all of a sudden everything shifted in me to such a high degree. And it just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And honestly, I think we are going to see people doing things that are miraculous on a regular basis. We're going to see things that are just basically alluded to. Things such as like some of the miracles that you see Jesus doing, as well as some of the things that yogis have been able to do. In Autobiography of a Yogi, Yogananda actually saw his master bilocate and things like that. I mean, it's going to be incredible. We're going to have such healing ability to be able to heal people instantly, like nothing. I mean, there are going to be those of us that will be able to just heal people like so quick. And, there's really no fear. We shouldn't have fear, because fear is what they're using to keep us down. And you develop that Buddhist, practice of viewing things without being pulled into the drama, staying outside the drama and just holding the energy of love and light and peace in you.
Yes, absolutely. And the longer you can hold that higher vibration today, the quicker it'll help pull you into alignment. And then, you're living more of your purpose. You're doing more of your soul purpose. And I think this is the downtime that they wanted us to look at is, we are faced with some pretty difficult things we're going to have in the upcoming time. But use that time to do the right thing. Be a good person. Go within. Help your neighbors. Get to know people. Understand people. Have compassion.
Most definitely. And we love and appreciate you too, Nicole.
Yes,
Most
Nicole.
definitely. Morticia, I love it, because in my dreams, I do fly, and it's not even dreams. It's really astral, and we could do that. And when I choose to go deep and to meditate in a certain way, with focusing on kind of escaping through the crown chakra, you get this rocking sensation. And then you're kind of floating, and you find yourself easing up and out of the body, kind of going behind the body and up and outwards. And it feels blissful. And it's all about the upper dantian. It's all about storing the spirit energy, the Shen, up in the upper dantian, which is where the pineal gland is. And it's through the pineal gland that we control all this. And that's how, some Native Americans, for instance, can transfer their consciousness into, say, a bird, like a raven, and then go around and see through the raven's eyes. And my dad used to do that and do it unconsciously. He would find himself turning into a bird, and my dad was, he was like around 37% Native. And I suspect Cherokee, just because of the reservation in Oklahoma, where his grandmother came from. It was, going back to Trail of Tears and stuff. But yeah, astral projection, it's really cool, and we can all do it with just practice. And everything like this is getting easier all the time because, we're getting turned on. Our DNA is getting switched back on. It's been switched off for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things they're trying to prevent us from understanding what all we can do in our different DNA strands in the different places where we're from. And we did come here for an experience, but it seems like that experience was hijacked, and we're just about to get back on track, and now we have all this coming, which makes me remember that thing I've heard, new level, new devil. Like once you're just fixing to pop up, move up a notch, something comes and tries to hold you down and keep you down, a negative force. And I think that's the force we're up against now, so that makes it so imperative to find your happy place, be a good person, go within, do what you do what you do best, and just love yourself, be good to yourself.
I love to fly just underneath the treetops. That's so much fun. I do.
And yeah, I know. I get in these bubbles. I'm still in that egg I was in.
Yeah, she's definitely still a little bit coming back into reality, because it was pretty cool. It was super cool seeing her in that spot, and then realizing that she was allowing herself to let these beings communicate directly. So we will be doing this from this channel on a regular basis. As we move forward now, we have to keep waking up the masses. So we have to work through, and talk about all the nasty stuff that's going on, and keep trying to get people to realize their power and what we can do to start to take control back for ourselves, and to start to help the planet. Because one of the big messages that you got was all about, we need to help Mother Earth at this time.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. She needs our help. So grounding, super important, because what I understand is like we're like magnets, and positive and negative. So when we're touching the Earth, like, and if you have these magnets, positive, negative touching, they strengthen each other. So we strengthen her, and she strengthens us.
Most definitely. So, we have to focus on that, because each one of us is a cell in the body of Mother Earth. So if we could get in alignment with the Earth is going to ascend and is going to go on up. At some point, I feel that we're going to have a timeline split. That's really what I feel. And I feel like at some point, some people are just simply going to go on to 5D Earth, and others are still going to be on 3D Earth. And I think a lot of us right now are wavering. We're fluctuating between 3D and 4D. And it's shifting more all the time. But, what's coming up now is going to be a big challenge and a big test for everyone. And it's time for all of us starseeds, all of us light workers, to step up big time and to hold the light as strong as we can, and do it through personal practice on a regular basis. Such a regular basis, it's imperative. And, we're here for that. That's why we're here, and as Ray Ray says, 1 foot here, 1 foot there. That's exactly it. And we have to help anchor that light. And we love you guys. You guys are beautiful, and you guys are pulling that light in, and you guys are changing the world in a positive way.
Yes, anchor, anchor, anchor. That's our job. Just do your absolute best. And when in doubt, just be kind, yeah.
And we'll go live on the first channel later on today for an update on everything that's happening on the 3D front. And this is more the 4D working towards 5D channel here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
Hi, Crystal Core.
Most definitely. And, there's so much to do, but anybody that is really, anybody that needs help and healing, just let us know, and we'll let each other know, and we'll work together, because we have to do that. Together, we can do amazing things.
Together we can, absolutely. So that's what it's all about. It's like our, one of the first steps toward getting the messages out that is going to help uplift people. And, if things are going to look like this, it looks like we're going to have a lot of time to meditate and bring information to you.
Which is great. And just, recognize that there's help. There's help all around us. And, it's just a matter of reaching out and asking for that help, and they will help, but then again, the benevolent ones don't want to impose on human free will, and so they don't want to mess up this human experience, because we're here to learn at the same time and help others learn.
And Outlaw Bob Barker says, very encouraging and much needed stream today. Same to you. Thanks for showing up. Without you guys, we can't be here, so thank you.
And there are so many different beings in this council. Yeah. Can you share? Are we allowed to share some of what they look like, or what they?
We can share, but I don't remember.
There's all sorts of humans and non-humanoid beings as well, in this group that are helping us, and so it's a real varied group, and it's also a group that extends not just on one density. So it's like 5D and 6D.
Yeah, a bit of a cluster there.
And also, again, as we were saying, the ones that we would call the devas, which is really like what we think of when we're thinking of the angelic realm. So there's a lot of different beings that are helping, and we'll go into a lot more detail. And I do feel that Queen Star Sophia. I think there is going to be a timeline split, and the timeline split it might very well be 2024, 2025, maybe earlier. It could be 2021. But yeah, I think there is going to be one.
Need the council, much appreciated. Well, thank you, Dominic. We need you too. And all of you guys that showed up today, our energy collectively is going to be so important, I feel, for this upcoming stuff that's being driven energetically.
Most definitely. And so hang on to that light, ground, help the earth, help yourself at the same time as you ground. And also, get out into the sun. Obviously, look for the skies, and hopefully they won't be chemtrailed. Right. And the sun will give us info, and they've so tried to keep that from us.
They have, through sunscreen and clothes and stuff like that. And, it's actually quite a blessing being out where we're at, because normally it's not super cloudy. I mean, I've had stretches here where you wake up every day and it's like another blue sky. And I know that sounds terrible, but after 3 months of pure blue sky, it's like you start to miss a cloud around here.
Well, the clouds were gorgeous yesterday. They were beautiful. So Deep State says, you mean when the sun flash fries us into ascension? And just to share with you, I also noticed that these beings were always putting me around people that were really gifted, psychically, intuitively, channeling-wise. And when I was on the beach in Sarasota, I was in Nokomis. I was in Nokomis, Florida. And the person I was with was staring at the sun. We were both sun gazing. The sun was setting. And then after the sun gazing, I was noticing how easy it was to see completely the chakras. I could see the chakras like I never saw them before. It was wild. I mean, just colors and complete funnels, clear as day. But she kept staring at the sun. I said, "What are you looking at?" And she said, "These giant blue orbs." And I said, "Giant blue orbs?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, they're aliens. They're ETs. They're something different. They're intelligent life, right? And I said, "What are they doing?" She said, "They're doing something to the sun." And I said, "Good or bad?" She said, "No, they're helping us." She said, "Because they're mitigating and making things slow down as far as the changes that the sun is going through, because the sun is ascending as well. Everything is ascending right now. And so they are slowing it down so that we could survive through these times to give us more of a chance for us to individually ascend, as many as possible. So they're kind of holding it back. And this is what the benevolent ones do. They do whatever they can to give us the time for us to wake up and to shed our fears and start moving into a positive direction. So, what she was seeing some of these very, very higher benevolent beings just slowing things down to give us a little bit more of a chance to wake up.
Which is absolutely wonderful, because I think that's the right thing to do. But now it's really go time. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we all have to lift up and be good to yourself. It's your higher self is leading you to your higher self. So listen to that inner voice, and I'm thinking, try to watch your dialect inside your head. If you're putting yourself down or if you're having bad thoughts, try to mitigate that. Try to move it aside and find a more positive something to replace it with. And pretty soon when you do that, it starts to become quite the habit.
So guys, thank you for joining us on our very first live ever on EEARTS here.
Yay!
Hey. And we'll do it at a regular basis. And, we'll also come back later on tonight for a live on the first channel and talk about everything that's going on. We love you guys. We love you guys. You guys are, such family. Mm-hmm. And we are all works in progress. Mm-hmm. And Queen Star's dad lives in Sarasota. Oh, yeah, beautiful. I hope to visit it with Cindy at some time in the future. And maybe it'll be a 5D version of Sarasota. Mm-hmm. But there's so much work to do, guys. Much love. As Bob says, be positive.
Be positive. God bless and namaste.
God bless, guys. Namaste.